Welcome to Goal Setting 101. Have you ever wondered how your neighbor or close friends are taking those lavish trips, vacations? When you're coming off work, they're setting off with the suitcases to go on that vacation. It happens all the time. It also almost appears as though their lifestyle is better than yours, even though you're working really hard and they're probably just in the same income bracket as you. We'll answer those questions and more to include giving you some lifestyle hacks. Here's a blueprint on how to achieve financial goals like book trips, buy some tickets, football, basketball, soccer game, spend more money on magical moments with family. Goal setting is actually the fundamental aspect of financial planning, guiding individuals and you towards short-term goals. For example, emergency fund, debt repayment, and actually intentionally building a vacation fund annually or biannual. Actually, looking at intermediate milestones like purchasing a car or long-term aspiration. This could be planning for retirement or buying a home. The definition of financial goals or desired future state that are achieved with the use of income and proper savings. Before we go any further, please like and subscribe. It would really help the growth of Retirement Lifestyle TV. Goal setting actually make use of the budget ratio. The budget ratio related to your salary is 50-30-20. We covered this in the Savings 101 video. If you did not get an opportunity to watch that video, I suggest that you do. So what is the 50-30-20? 50% of your income on a biweekly or monthly basis can go to mandatory or essential spending. This could be your car payment, your house payment, paying rent, light. So that would be 50% of your salary. And then 30% you spend towards your discretionary spending, which could be dinner, tickets, concerts, sporting games. So these are all discretionary spending, 30%. And then lastly, 20% related to savings. Now that we've got that covered, because I get a lot of questions in terms of when we start talking about goal settings, in terms of where is the money going to come from? It's going to come from the 30% discretionary part of your income and also the 20% for long-term savings. So keep that in mind. If you're working, you have an opportunity to set some very effective goals and to maximize your savings and your spending. In this goal setting discussion, we'll cover 3 types of financial goals: short-term, intermediate, and long-term. Short-term financial goals typically encompass immediate needs and objectives that can be achieved within a few weeks to a year. For example, emergency fund, which should be the number one priority fund to create. This is actually saving 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. For example, if your monthly income is $4,000, saving 3 months of your monthly income is recommended. So that would be $12,000. 3 times 4 is 12, $12,000. You don't do it all at once. The strategy here is to allocate a fixed percentage of your monthly income. Remember, we talked about the 30%, 20% towards an emergency fund to build it over time. But you want to do that within a year, a few weeks to a year. Obviously, this would be leaning towards that year. How do I know? Should I create a living expense that's 3 months or 6 months? Let's break this down as well. Let's say you're working for a city, state, or the federal government. Those jobs are generally more stable and have a little bit more reliability and longevity as it comes with experience. And turnovers are very minimal, should I say. Therefore, generally 3 months of living expenses working in those type of profession is fine, or recommended, I would say. Now, if you work in a sales capacity or you work in the real estate market where you get ebbs and flow up and down, it's recommended there that you save 6 months. So back to our example of making $4,000 a month. And if you work in sales or you work in real estate, you want to go ahead and make sure that emergency fund is built up to $24,000. Another short-term financial goal is actually vacation fund. Vacation fund is like maybe you want a specific vacation or traveling experience. Strategy here is to create and dedicate a savings account and contribute a fixed amount each month to that saving account. For example, let's just say you have a planned vacation and you know in advance a year. And this particular trip, hotel, flight, is going to cost around $6,000. Within this saving account and the income that you receive on a biweekly period, for example, you would contribute $500. This will allow you to incrementally contribute to your vacation fund to the amount of $6,000. So this is quite different from not planning or not having a vacation fund where you're taking the trip and you're probably taking a loan, very short notice. And then when you come back, you're indebted to the bank and you're paying high interest rate a year or two later just because it wasn't financed properly or you didn't set any goals prior to taking the trip. And this could be avoided. If you pay for your trips by setting goals up to a year, once you've done with that trip, you can start to set your other trip for the upcoming year or even multiple trips within 1 year. So this is a great way to take advantage of your income source to ensure you're not paying more for your vacations. Next is intermediate term financial goals, typically spanning 1 to 5 years, these types of goals. Bridging the gap between intermediate and long-term aspirations. Here are a couple of examples of goal-setting strategies. Funding education, that would be the goal. Saving for a child education or further education. Some of these strategies just creating an account, estimating how much the cost will count for the education to include inflation. And you build that out for 5 years. Typically, these investments will include bonds, fixed income funds, and or ETF. Things that give you certain incremental increase. You do not want to invest in intermediate goals with equity because equity and stocks are very volatile. They can kind of wreck your educational funds in 1 to 5 years. So you generally want to invest your money for 1 to 5 year goals with something that's more certain. And this would be like fixed income or bonds, or just have it in a high savings account at a bank. And that'll guarantee you that you won't lose any money. And then you'll continue to contribute on a biweekly basis or a monthly basis to your educational fund. Next is actually for a home purchase. The goal here would be save for a down payment on a home. The strategy would be establish a sinking fund for the home purchase and contribute money to it regularly. Lastly, a car purchase. Save for a new vehicle. Strategy here would be create a dedicated fund for a car purchase and contribute to it consistently. These are all things that can be placed on a table. They can be prioritized. You can look at your time horizon. You know they're happening between 1 to 5 years, which give you a whole lot of flexibility in your spending, where You can use that 30% and that 20% income from your biweekly or monthly check and dedicate it to your immediate financial goals. Next, we have long-term financial goal. Long-term financial goals extend beyond 5 years, focusing on major life achievements and retirement planning. If you recall, we talked about earlier the 50, 30, 20% rule for budgeting. In terms of your income, your biweekly check, 50% goes towards your needs, 30% goes towards your wants, and 20% goes towards your retirement. When we start talking about long-term financial goal, we're really honing in on that 20% of your check, okay? We're using goal strategies like retirement savings, building a significant nest egg for retirement. You want to contribute consistently to retirement early and often. These accounts are like 401k, 403, IRA, and also adjust investment based on your risk tolerance. Another opportunity in terms of goal setting is home ownership or paying off your mortgage. You can do that by accelerating your monthly payment or paying more money on your principal. Another opportunity in terms of goal setting is for wealth accumulation, which is my favorite. Accumulating substantial wealth for financial freedom. That would be the goal, financial freedom. What are some strategies? How do we get there? Diversify your investment across stocks, bonds, real estate, even crypto, Bitcoin, and other assets. Or you can purchase real estate, rental properties, or even REITs, which are real estate investment trusts. A different type of way to invest in real estate, but you can still earn substantial amount of dividends off of REITs investment. These are stocks that are actually on brokerage account that you can just select and do your research and select various types of REITs without even owning the property. Granted, not all financial goals will be attainable, even if you have a deep conviction about that financial goal. Although you prioritize them and you plan ahead, it's a constant battle between your needs versus your wants. What is the opportunity cost? What am I going to give up? That's why it's very important to prioritize your financial goals and to quickly identify those things that are not attainable at the moment. Thank you for watching Retirement Lifestyle TV. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.